You will observe that the stories told are all about money seekers, not about money finders. You should always try to turn every disaster into an opportunity. You may delay, but time will not. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. You can change your life by changing your attitude. Worry is the interest paid by those who borrow trouble. Wherever the crowd goes, run in the other direction. They're always wrong. When you feel discouraged, seek healing in labor. When something bad happens, you have 3 choices. You can either let it define you, let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. Whatever you do, do it well. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. What you get from an experience will be equivalent to the effort you put into it. We're stronger in the places that we've been broken. We must consult our means rather than our wishes. We crave for new sensations, but soon become indifferent to them. The wonders of yesterday are today's common occurrences. We cannot know what we do not know, but the past, present, and future are hidden under one veil. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. To succeed, jump as quickly at opportunities as you do at conclusions. To persevere in one's duty and to be silent is the best answer to calumny. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. This man is the richest whose pleasures are the cheapest. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Things may come to those who wait, but only the things left by those who hustle. Things do not grow better, they remain as they are. It is we who grow better by the changes we make in ourselves. There are so many women with whom you can sleep, and so few women with whom you can talk. There is only one way to get the best of an argument, and that is to avoid it. There is no other quality so essential to success of any kind as the quality of perseverance. It overcomes almost everything, even nature. There is no value in life except what you choose to place upon it, and no happiness in any place except what you bring to it yourself. There is one thing more exasperating than a wife who can cook and won't, and that's a wife who can't cook and will. There is no man living that cannot do more than he thinks he can. There is nothing so likely to produce peace as to be well prepared to meet the enemy. There is nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility is being superior to your former self. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. The turning points of our lives are not the great moments. The real crises are often concealed in occurrences so trivial in appearance that they pass unobserved. The successful man will profit from his mistakes and try again in a different way. The secret to being creative is being alone. Ideas are born in loneliness. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. The reason why worry kills more people than work is that more people worry than work. The race is won by the horse that outstrips its rivals by a head. The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. The past cannot become the present. The only real mistake is the one from which we learn nothing. The only way to influence people is to talk in terms of what the other person wants. The most painful thing is losing yourself in the process of loving someone too much and forgetting that you are special too. The more you like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes you unique. The honesty of people does not increase with their wealth. The harder the conflict, the greater the triumph. The greatest thing we can produce is character. Everything else can be taken from us, but not our character. The first man gets the oyster, the second man gets the shell. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all, but goes on making his own business better all the time. The brain is a wonderful organ. It starts working the moment you get up in the morning and does not stop until you get into the office. The best way out is always through. The best way to predict your future is to create it. The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them. The best things and the best people rise out of their separateness. That some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. Success comes from keeping the ears open and the mouth closed. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Something we are withholding made us weak until we found it was ourselves. Some people like what you do. Some people hate what you do. But most people simply don't give a damn. Saving on advertising is like stopping a clock to save time. Real men despise battle, but will never run from it. Real loneliness is not necessarily limited to when you are alone. Perseverance and spirit have done wonders in all ages. People complain that they have done nothing with their lives, and then they wait for somebody to tell them that this isn't so. Pay less attention to what men say, just watch what they do. Our virtues and our failings are inseparable, like force and matter. When they separate, man is no more. Our fatigue is often caused not by work, but by worry, frustration, and resentment. Our cup will truly run over only after we have sealed the character crack. Our brain has very sensitive nerve cells, which allow us to feel the truth even when it is not yet available. Only two people will tell the truth about you: your mother and your enemy. One who has nothing to do with thorns should never try to pick flowers. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Nothing gives you more advantages over others than the ability to remain calm and cool in any situation. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. Never buy a thing seduced by its cheapness. Such a thing in the long run will cost you dearly. Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life. Define yourself. My belief is firm in the law of compensation. The true rewards are ever in proportion to the labor and sacrifices made. Man has no nobler or more valuable possession than time. Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. Life is and will ever remain an equation incapable of solution, but it contains certain known factors. Leave nothing for tomorrow which can be done today. Laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. Knowledge isn't power until it is applied. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half shut afterwards. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. It's not about what you look at, it's about what you see. It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. It is better to be alone than in bad company. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. It is not worth the while to let our imperfections disturb us always. It is very important to remember what other people tell you, not so much what you yourself already know. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy. In relationships, tragedy begins not when there is a misunderstanding of words, but when silence is incomprehensible. If you always have faith and trust in yourself, there's no limit to the places you will go. If your only goal is to become rich, you will never achieve it. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. If you don't want anything for a long time, most likely it's time to start working. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. If you can dream it, you can do it. If they say bad things about you, then they just envy you. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. If money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. The only real security that a man will have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. I'm a greater believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. I think it's important to have a good hard failure when you're young. I learned a lot out of that because it makes you kind of aware of what can happen to you. How much we suffered because of what did not happen, but could only happen. He who works all day has no time to make money. He who gives up his freedom for security receives neither. He who permits himself to tell a lie once finds it much easier to do it the second time. Happiness depends more upon the internal frame of a person's own mind than on the externals in the world. Half the world is composed of people who have something to say and can't, and the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. Good fences make good neighbors. Go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll be able to see farther. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. For our suspicions, we pay by finding what we suspected. Find what it is that interests you and that you can do well, and when you find it, put your whole soul into it with every bit of energy, ambition, and natural ability you have. Fear doesn't exist anywhere except in the mind. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Everyone falls down. Getting back up is how you learn how to walk. Everyone needs deadlines. Even the beavers, they loaf around all summer, but when they are faced with the winter deadline, they work like fury. If we didn't have deadlines, we'd stagnate. Every day is lost in which we do not learn something useful. Every act you have ever performed since the day you were born was performed because you wanted something. Every man is the builder of the temple by which his body is called. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Don't spend money you don't have. Do not complain about growing old. It is a privilege denied to many. Do not bite at the bait of pleasure till you know there is no hook beneath it. Do not look for approval except for the consciousness of doing your best. Do not be too moral. You may cheat yourself out of much life. So aim above morality. Be not simply good. Be good for something. Decision-making, like coffee, needs a cooling process. Cultivate the habit of getting up early. It is unreasonable to keep your head on the same level with your feet for a long time. Criticisms are like homing pigeons. They always return home. By faithfully working 12 hours a day, you may eventually get to be the boss and work 14 hours a day. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Buy land. They're not making it anymore. Beware those who seek constant crowds. for they are nothing alone. Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. Believe nothing you hear, and only one half that you see. Be who you are, and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Be more concerned with your character than with your reputation, for your character is what you are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Avoid a man who pretends to be your friend. Avoid sex in old age, after it comes to kissing and then talking. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Any fool can make a rule, and every fool will keep it. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other thing.